Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires, in giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal law number 22. The law of economy. The law of economy states the Brahmi aspect of the logos is characterized by that method in the wide distribution of matter, the scattering of the atoms of matter and their dissociation from one another, vibratory rhythm, heterogeneity and quality, and their inherent rotary action. This law of economy causes matter always to follow the line of least resistance, and is the basis of the separative action of atomic matter. It governs matter, the opposite pole of spirit. Initiates must master this law before they can achieve liberation or enlightenment.
So this particular law is one of those, again, that takes a little bit of unpacking because of the use of words and language and, of course, how we might understand them and how they are used within the context of the law of analogy. That becomes a problem as well. If you remember that one, if you've gone and had a look at it, the law of analogy talks about the difficulties of trying to explain something in words that is actually really quite indescribable because it's a sensory experience that we're attempting to outline with language. So anyway, after a bit of Googling around to try and unpack this and enhance my capacity with my own native language of English, I've reached the conclusion. Now, many of you may or may not agree. You are most welcome to leave a comment and put your interpretations down. That would be wonderful. But what I've concluded is that the Brahma, that particular word, is based on a Hindu word or description, and it's an aspect, according to the good old Google, it's an aspect of the creator God under the Hindu tradition. So where the Christians have got the Father, Son and Holy Ghost, the Hindus have got Brahma, what's the other one? Brahma, oh my God, I've lost it. Well, anyway, it's one of the aspects of the creator God, and the Logos, by interpretation, is the distribution of information and knowledge by either verbal or energetic means. And clearly it could be at a physical or atomic level. What does it say to try it? Oh my God, I'm hanging in there trying to explain this properly. It is related to the physical components, although I believe when we refer to energy in atoms, that while they are not visible to our naked eye and they appear to be weightless, at some point in time through the whole universal setup, there must be a level of weight. In fact, I believe there is. That can be measured at some level, and that these atoms are always spinning and rotating. So it's about the distribution of these atoms of knowledge through the vibration of movement and where rhythm is applied. Now, where we did talk about divine flow in the last video, within this context, we're talking about the flow of information, I believe. This is what I've interpreted. Oh, and I interpreted that because Logos under the Greek traditions is about discourse or vigorous discussion, for want of a better word. So we're talking about the divine aspect, distribution of knowledge and information. Okay, so that's it summarized. I would also say that it's more than physical. I can see how it applies within an energetic capacity, and that's because I do believe, and I've had experience of what we call telepathic communication and the power of sending thought and receiving it. And that also includes, by the way, communicating with animals. It's like a communication of the soul level. The other reason why I find that this is plausible to me is because I'm aware of and recognise the healing power of music, and that has vibration and rhythm. So therein, the next word to unpack is actually that of heterogeneity, which I believe reinforces that diversity of the sharing of knowledge and information. So just to keep it simple, now that we've established that, I believe that what this law is saying, that when we are sharing information or knowledge, that if we meet with resistance, this can be somebody going, that's a load of bulldust or whatever, or an unwillingness to learn or grow because everybody grows at their own rate, then we should not attempt to force and sway people to our belief system. Because, let me just unpack this a moment. Well, because bottom line, to try and force somebody to think and do what we do, there is that one aspect of the more we try hard to push them into our way of thinking, the more resistance we encounter from them. But the other thing is, the more exhausting it becomes for us because we're trying to make people do or think or believe what we do. So it's unhealthy. And I put this image up here of the video because it was just something to ponder and reflect that, when we're going with the flow of life, it's like that river there, and you can see that the river will move around the obstacles in the pathway, if you like. And this is the same for humans. As we're going along, we can take the role of being the river and just moving around resistance. The water doesn't tend to beat down on those rocks. It may gradually erode it. So I suppose there's that if we continue to walk and to walk our talk, that eventually people will see the truth through our actions if we're able to sustain it. So to some extent, I suspect that what we're talking about here is what is referred to as the butterfly effect, and not the movie that many people have seen, but rather a concept by a gentleman by the name of Edward Lorenz. And his concept was to do with science, actually, and it was about weather. But the bottom line is that he created this concept to cover direct and indirect effects from actions, and his position is there's no real capacity to predict the outcome of actions, and that life is simply a series of events that respond to each other. And from there, I think we probably would end up starting to talk about the law of karma, but as far as universal laws go, that's kind of way down the track for now. But I think within the context of the law of economy, it's, don't try and force stuff. Let it happen. We don't have to force people to think and be the same as us. Just let things be. Just try and put the focus on your own behaviour and live by example. That's kind of how I interpret this law. But anyway, I'll leave you to have a think and a ponder and a reflection, and invite you to put down your own interpretations. Any comments about whether or not you think I've got it wrong. Perhaps you can expand upon my interpretation in better ways or more effective ways. I'm sure that I won't be the only person to appreciate and value your contributions. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you go now, and I'm going to say thank you for being part of my journey. Have a wonderful, glorious day. Take care, and catch you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.